On the 5th of February, next Tuesday, Donald Trump is going to make his State of the Union address to the American nation. And it's going to be made in the shadow of another Supreme Court justice appointment. Because where is Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Where is she? We last saw her in public on the 6th of December. And she'd had a fall. She broke 3 ribs. We were told she was fine. But she's a very frail old woman, and we saw her in her public appearances looking tired and jaded and obviously not a picture of health. She's an 85-year-old woman. I mean, she's coming rapidly to the end of her life. And then we found out, after the broken ribs, they detected lung cancer in both lungs. So she was operated on. We told it was fine. The cancer was cleared. But what we weren't told is that she lost a third of one lung and a half of the other. But for an 85-year-old woman, that's very traumatic. And but she was sitting up, we were told, and she was ready to resume work again. And it seemed a bit unbelievable. And she wasn't appearing in public. And then we found out that she had pneumonia, which for an 85-year-old woman who's just had major lung surgery is really devastating. I mean, she's coming to the end of her life. She's probably got days to live. She may well be dead already. We don't know this. People have speculated that she's in an induced coma. And yet the media is saying that she's engaging in telephone conversations about this film that's been made concerning her, and that she's still listening to the Supreme Court discourse and making comments. I just don't believe that. I mean, what's this exposing once again for all to see? Is that it's just fake news out there. The media make things up. Somebody said, if you want the best fiction you can read is a newspaper. The best fiction you can read is the television news. They just lie through their teeth. They're just professional liars. We can't believe anything they say. And on this issue of the health and the survival of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we can't believe it at all. We're just being fed nonsense, I believe. And even if miraculously she is alive, or she makes some sort of temporary recovery, she's not able to be a Supreme Court justice. The level of intellectual energy and endeavour you need to fulfil that role surely she doesn't have that anymore. So she should, at the very least, she should retire if she's still alive. But all this whole speculation around it is becoming absurd. We need a statement on this so we can move on. And this is going to be Trump's prerogative to select another Supreme Court justice. Now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a far-left activist. She seemed to want to overthrow every moral law that America lived under. She's been described as a witch, which I wouldn't like to curse a woman in her dying days with that title. But really, it's not been too good what she's done. I mean, she's tried to promote paedophilia, incest, the murder of the unborn. It's absolutely horrendous, you know. And so we need a replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg quickly. And Trump has got some great conservatives lined up to step into her role. And that will swing the balance of the Supreme Court even more strongly back towards constitutional judges. 6-3 at a minimum. And that could give the conservative voices the dominant position in the Supreme Court for the next 10, 12 years. So, I mean, and this is really important in America. So much goes through the legal process and so much ends up in the Supreme Court. And it's almost like God's blessing Donald Trump with this ability to morally rearm America and put godly judges back in place. You know, people like Brett Kavanaugh, people like Neil Gorsuch, really solid men, solid Americans, people who stand on truth and wholesome values. And it's great news that we're seeing this in America. Supreme Court. And of course, the Democrats aren't going to like it. I mean, we saw them campaign against Brett Kavanaugh, and it's hysterical. They went to mass hysteria to try and oppose him. And I'm sure when Trump makes his next appointment, they'll try again. But the thing about Trump is, this guy never backs down. He knows what's right. He knows what's necessary to make America great again, whether it's a wall or the right Supreme Court justice. Build that wall, Donald. Secure America's borders again. If you need to, declare a state of emergency. Get the money and get building. Because national security, border security, control of immigration, control of the moral temperature of America, it's so important. And everything Trump is advocating is going in the right direction. It's about national rebirth. It's about his agenda to make America great again. So let's move on this issue and keep supporting Trump. It's the Republican Party. It's their duty to support him. And we've got to move forward now for 2020, for Trump's re-election. It's closing in, and the campaign really has begun. And I've looked at the Democrat candidates, and they're an awful bunch. They're an awful, degenerate, unpatriotic, socialist rabble. So we've got to really support Donald. Amen. Thank you for watching this video. We're putting out messages as often as we can now to stir up the people of this nation and the people of the West to fight back on behalf of their nations, to have confidence that we can win. We're trying to buy new equipment. We want to buy a small camera so that we can film outside. And we want to buy some radio mics so we can get good sound quality outside. So we're looking for funds really to promote this work that we're doing. So if you support us and you want to invest in this battle to save our nation, there's a PayPal link in the description. If you can, please make a donation. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell as well so you get a notification of any future videos we make. We're turning out 2, 3, 4 videos a week now, and we're going to keep on this battle until we win. Thank you.